Well, funny you should say that. It is the government's fault, almost entirely. Number 1, the killing of the buffalo. Now, this is something that white people kind of took upon themselves to do in the plains, and then it became a government initiative. In Kansas alone, the bones of 31 million buffalo were sold between 1868 and 1881. We removed an essential part of the plains ecosystem, which now we understand with science, when you disrupt one part of an ecosystem, you disrupt it all. Without them, everything was off balance. Number 2, the government removed the indigenous populations of the Great Plains and sent them to reservations elsewhere, mainly the Comanche, Apache, Kiowa, Cheyenne, and Western Sioux. Again, this indigenous population had been part of this land for tens of thousands of years. They are part of the ecosystem, and the government removed yet another essential part of the Great Plains by doing this. The indigenous population cared for that land and understood it better than anyone else. Number 3, during World War I, Herbert Hoover was the head of the U.S. Food Administration, and he started the campaign that wheat would win the war. Was he right about that? Yeah, kind of. He set the price for wheat bundles at $2 a bundle, which was a lot of money then. This caused a ton of people who were not farmers to go search for land that was available to farm wheat. Hordes of people came out to the Great Plains looking for available land. Number 4, a new type of plow was invented, that being a plow pulled by a tractor. This tractor dug super deep into the soil and ripped up the roots of the grass. And in this grassland, the roots were essential for next year's growing of the grass. The plains grass was also essential because it kept moisture for about a foot underground. It was like a sponge in the root system. So even during a drought, you could dig into the soil and it would be wet because those grass roots acted like a sponge. This invasive plowing technique completely tore everything up. Now, most of the people who moved out there were looking to homestead, meaning they wanted to stay on that land and make it their lifestyle. But there was also a large portion of what this author referred to as suitcase farmers. And the suitcase farmers were really what screwed everything up because they planted wheat for 2 or 3 years, so 2 or 3 seasons of farming, ripped up all the wheat, sold it, replanted nothing in its place, leaving the topsoil exposed with nothing planted to hold it down, and then took off back to the city where they came from. This created a perfect storm. A drought hit in 1932. The winds on the plains have always been high, but the grass roots keep the topsoil to the ground. Without the grass roots and with this invasive plowing technique, the winds just picked up the topsoil and blew it all over the country for 7 years. I see a lot of people in the comments saying, oh, crop rotation fixed it. Crop rotation is the cause. Crop rotation is not the cause of what blew the dust everywhere, or the lack of crop rotation, that is. Nothing but grass was meant to grow in this place. Still to this day, nothing but grass is meant to grow there. Not trees, not wheat, not corn. You're supposed to be able to look left to right on the plains and see nothing but grass. That's what it was for tens of thousands of years before it was colonized. Now, as if this isn't bad enough, one of FDR's thoughts on how do we fix this, because FDR did not cause this problem. Hoover and the presidents before him caused this problem. But one of the solutions he came up with was, what if we invite the indigenous populations back? Now, how is that fair? It's been destroyed. You've killed all the buffalo, and now you ask them to fix what you have destroyed. Well, not him, but you know what I'm saying, the government. He pitched this several times, and I do think partially it was because he knew it was wrong that they were removed. This plan never came to fruition. The indigenous population also kind of knew that even if they did go to fix the land, once it was healthy again, it would be ripped from them again because they had been lied to over and over and over again by this government. No amount of planting trees helped this situation. No amount of crop rotation helped this situation. The only thing that helped this situation was Hugh Bennett's plan to replant grass throughout the grasslands.